Call tonight's City Council meeting to order. Roll call, please.
Council members Jamison.
Here.
Knutson.
Here.
Litz.
Here.
Staggers.
Present.
Anderson.
Here.
Benega.
Here.
Brown.
Here.
Costello.
Here.
We have a quorum present. Tonight, in the invocation, will be led by Reverend Randy Rasmussen from Emmanuel Baptist Church here in Sioux Falls. After the invocation, we'll have the Pledge of Allegiance. So at this time, I'd ask everyone to please rise.
Let's pray together. Almighty God, we are thankful for every good and perfect gift that comes from your hand. We're thankful for the love you show to us through our family, our friends, and for those who honorably serve in our community. We're thankful for your provision that even in the hard times is an abundance when we measure our true need. We are thankful for your protection and for those who so faithfully serve to preserve our freedom. Thank you, Lord, for your goodness to us, and forgive us for failing to fully appreciate your goodness to us. Now we ask, Lord, that as this meeting proceeds with many different concerns, we would be mindful of your holy word that teaches us to set our hearts and minds on whatever is true, whatever is honorable, whatever is just, whatever is pure, whatever is beautiful, and whatever is admirable. Guide this council with the wisdom to pursue whatever is truly worthwhile, and let no other agenda be blessed. Finally, Lord, we pray that you would unite our hearts as a community to pursue the path of peace. We pray in the name of the one who truly did live a life of peace, Jesus Christ. Amen.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay, I'd just like to recognize we have with us tonight Boy Scout Troop number 731 from Holy Spirit Church in Sioux Falls. So we'd just like to recognize this fine young man today, and thank you for coming down. Okay, let's move on. Is there a motion to approve the consent agenda?
So moved.
Brown moves. Is there a second?
Second, Benega.
Benega seconds. Is there further motions on the consent agenda?
Mr. Mayor,
Okay, go ahead.
I would like to move item number 1 on the consent agenda to item number 1 on the regular agenda.
Okay, your motion is to move item number 1 on the consent agenda to the item number 1 on the regular agenda. That's a motion. Is there a second to that motion?
I'll second that motion.
Knutson
Knutson.
seconds a motion. Motion made second. Further
Correction,
comments?
please. That'll be right above item 6.
That's
Right.
correct.
Yeah, exactly.
Thank you.
Okay. Further comments? If not, all in favor of the motion to amend will vote yes. Those opposed will vote no.
Councilmember Jamison.
Yes.
Knutson.
Yes.
Litz.
Yes.
Staggers.
Yes.
Anderson.
Yes.
Benega.
Yes.
Brown.
Yes.
Costello.
Yes.
All members present have voted that motion to amend has been approved 8-0. Further motions? Seeing none, all in favor of approving the consent agenda as amended will vote yes. Those opposed will vote no.
Councilmembers Jamison.
Yes.
Knutson.
Yes.
Litz.
Yes.
Staggers.
Yes.
Anderson.
Yes.
Benega.
Yes.
Brown.
Yes.
Costello.
Yes.
All members present have voted. Consent agenda has been approved 8-0 as amended. Now, is there a motion to approve the regular agenda?
I so move. Knutson.
Knutson moves. Is there a second?
Second, let's.
Let's second it. Are there further motions for the regular agenda? Seeing none, all in favor of approving the regular agenda will vote yes. Those opposed, no.
Councilmembers Jamison.
Yes.
Knutson.
Yes.
Litz.
Yes.
Staggers.
Yes.
Anderson.
Yes.
Benega.
Yes.
Brown.
Yes.
Costello.
Yes.
All members present voted. The regular agenda has been approved 8-0. Now is the time that we set aside for a period of 5 minutes. We just ask that you give your name and address. Anyone wishing to address the council for a period of 5 minutes, please come forward at this time. I see no one coming forward, so we will move into the regular.
Okay, item 1.
You're here for item, you're here for the tax? Okay, we're coming up to that right now then. Okay, go ahead.
Item 1, Ali Salim, 5909 West Silver Valley Drive, for 2005 property taxes for the amount of $399.14, 2006 property taxes in the amount of $400.81, and 2007 property taxes for the amount of $393.92. Property owner states that the county was charging higher taxes based on incorrect square footage for basement. County personnel visited the home on September 8, 2008, and confirmed that the square footage for the basement is 493 square feet. The assessed value of the home has been corrected for 2009.
Members of the council, Mayor Manson, thank you for allowing me to make my presentation. In 1995, I purchased a piece of land in Sioux Falls. In 1996, I contracted with a local contractor to build a house. And I would like to share this with you. I have some exhibits that I would like to share with the council to make my presentation a little easier. As you can see from this exhibit number 1, there's a lot of unexcavated areas in my house. I deliberately did that because there's just my wife and I did not need a big basement. So the area that's bounded by the yellow marker is my only basement. The rest of the house is unexcavated. Exhibit number 2 shows my the assessment notice that you and I receive every year. Now, we all receive this assessment notice, and all what you see is 2 numbers, one for the price of the land and one for the price of the structure. It doesn't tell you exactly how did we arrive at that number. As a taxpayer, I have no idea. It was based on the square footage for the first floor, the basement, the second floor, and also what's the formula. I've never given the formula that this number arrived from. So this is exhibit number 2. Exhibit number 3, I was trying to sell my house early this year in March. So I went to the county and I asked for the total assessment value, and I was given exhibit number 3. Now, it clearly shows that exhibit number 3 has a basement, an area of 1,073 square foot. And that's the only time I discovered that the county and the city made an error in assessing the value of my basement. Now, as a registered professional engineer in the state of South Dakota, I had no reason to doubt the professionalism of the city and the county individuals who made this measurement. So I just, for the last 12 years, I've been paying taxes on this large basement that I never had. Even the formula that you see down there, how did they arrive at the total number of $269,851? I have no idea. So exhibit number 4, when I was trying to sell my house, in exhibit number 4, the next one please, this is an appraised value of my house, and in there it shows that the area of the basement is not 1,073 square foot, it's only 500 or 493 feet. So there's a difference, a discrepancy of about 600 square feet in the basement in my house. Then I went to, I talked to my realtor about this, and I went to the county and I told them about the discrepancy. They sent someone from the county to my house and they measured the basement, and indeed they found out there's only 473 square foot, not 1,073 square foot as indicated. And they made the corrections, and to me, the county admitted their guilt and their mistake. I'm sorry, just their mistake. So now, my realtor, when he came to the house to measure the house, as you can see in exhibit number 6, I only have 1 bedroom and 1 game room in the basement. That's my entire basement. And you can see from this exhibit, they both add up to only 331.8 square foot. But 493, I'm willing to live with that. So my problem is this. I tried to sell my house because I just retired a couple of weeks ago. And I've been trying to sell the house back in March. And because of the assessment value of $269,000, I added another $10,000 to cover expenses. And I posted my house for $284,000, and nobody will take a bite because of the inflated value of my house based on the wrong square footage. And I put the house out of the market for a while because I just felt it's not going to sell. Now, I feel that I've been damaged for the last 12 years, not the last 3-4 years, but the last 12 years. I've been paying an extra anywhere between $400 and $500 a year for the last 12 years. Had this happened to me, if I made that mistake, I am sure the city and the county would have been after me, after my bank account, after my property, to get their money back. Now, I'm only asking for my dime, not the county's dime. I overpaid my taxes for the last 12 years, not the last 3 or 4. And it's only fair that I can be reimbursed for the extra taxes that I paid. This also affected the sale of my house because for that price that I put for my house, nobody was buying it. I reduced the price now by about $30,000, $40,000. And by the way, the county, after they discovered that they made a mistake, they reduced the price of the house to or the assessed value of the price of the house to $241,452 instead of $269,000, difference of $28,000 or $29,000. So my house was overtaxed for the last 12 years. It's only fair that the county and the city look into this matter with all fairness. And I have never been delinquent in paying any of my taxes. And I think it's only fair that the county and the city would look into reimburse me for all the money that I overpaid for the last 12 years, and not only the last 3 years.
Questions?
Thank you very much.
Mr. Salem, I hope I'm pronouncing your last name correctly. I'm sorry if I'm not. A couple questions. One, okay, so when every year, we as property owners receive a card from the county indicating when our taxes are due and our square footage and so forth.
No, they never mentioned square footage. They only give me a number, a total amount of dollars that I need to pay, and I paid it diligently for the last 12 years, all my life. Okay. I paid my taxes. They never told me based on how many square foot. They never told me what is the formula they used to arrive at that tax value. Okay,
I'll review my postcard when I get home. Okay, then second question. I think as you probably well know, many of us, all of us at different times during that 1 week of Board of Equalization in March each year, sit over at the courthouse, for hours for an entire week as required by state law to listen to appeals and, help remedy situations when there have been unintentional mistakes made and so forth. And again, I'm sorry, I didn't quite understand. Why did you never, ever appeal this in the last 12 years? I missed that.
Yeah, because I have never, as a professional engineer, I have no reason to doubt the integrity and the professionalism of people who came to my house and measured it and recorded it. I have no reason to go and remeasure after them, So I just took it for granted that these people are professional, they measured the house properly, and they documented the size of the house. I found out only when I was hired an assessor to appraise my house. Only then they came and they measured every room in the house. And that's when I discovered that there is discrepancy between what the county is charging me and what the actual value is. And the realtor also, he pointed that out to me too. He says, he checked the record in the county, and he discovered also that the basement is way too big than what I really have. 600 square feet more, and I've been paying taxes for this extra 600 square feet for the last 12 years.
Thank you.
Mayor, do we have anyone from the county here?
Kyle from the County Board of Equalization is here. If you have any questions for Kyle, he can.
Kyle, if you could just share with us what typically is the practice when these kind of problems occur.
Again, I'll go back to...
Why don't you wait, step up to the microphone, would you please?
My name is Kyle Halseth. I'm the Deputy Director of Equalization for Minnehaha County. Dubious distinction at that. What normally happens in an instance like this is we will send out an appraiser to take a look at the property, see if there has been an error made. And if there has been an error made, we will correct it. As a matter of course, if we find something that hadn't been on the tax rolls before, like a basement finish, we do not add for it. We never have and we never will. What we run into here is a problem of underassessment, overassessment. Mr. Salim had been given 12 years to appeal his value, one way or another. We had not heard from him. There was an error made. We corrected it for 2009. And again, that was the reason why our office recommended denial.
Questions? Go ahead.
Yeah, Kyle.
Yes, sir.
12 years ago, why didn't you tell him the correct number?
We reported to every taxpayer in Minnehaha County what we believe to be the fair market value of their property. We believe that is the correct number. Without, I should back up, there are 47,000 houses in Minnehaha County. We have 9 appraisers. We are really kind of lucky in the last 12 years just to keep up with new construction in the city of Sioux Falls, let alone a reappraisal effort to get out and take a look. It wasn't physically responsible to do it. What we thought was the right number was reported to him, and then he had the ability to appeal that process for 12 years.
But not the square footage. You just gave the value of the home.
We just gave the value of the home. That's correct.
Right. And so I guess your comments here about the taxpayer did not appeal value over a 12-year span period. Well, he didn't realize that there was a mistake in the calculation of the value, so he couldn't appeal.
According to South Dakota codified law, we are to notify the taxpayer of fair market value using all 3 approaches to value: cost, market, and income. We had taken a look at the market over the years and had established that it was within reasonable parameters of being the market value. We had no idea or no way of knowing that there was possibly a mistake.
So he shouldn't suffer because of your mistake.
The suffering has its outlet, and that is the appeal of the valuation. There has to come a time and space where things are frozen, so we can establish budgets, we can establish mill levies, we can do our taxes. That time and space comes after the boards of equalization, when all values are assumed correct and at full and true, so we can establish levies to run government. We have to have a time when a presumption of correctness is applied.
But shouldn't we then, to help make sure everything is correct, let the homeowner know what kind of square footage you're assuming when you come up with the value of the home? Because we're in the dark. I don't know what you have down for my home for the square footage. I don't know at all. Because that's one of the important factors in determining.
I understand. We would invite anyone down to take a look at their property cards, to take a look at all methods or methodologies that we've used. It is physically impossible, basically, for us to send out a property card to every 67,500 plus properties in Minnehaha County, and then to explain every little nuance. It's a science. It's an abstract science coming up with market value, but it still is a science based on mass amounts of data. So what we send out, we do believe is full value.
Vernon and then Gerald.
So Kyle, given the scenario, what under state law is the city council allowed to do tonight? What are our options?
Under state law, really at this point, none.
We're not able to look back a certain number of years?
You can, that's a gray area. Your city attorney knows all too well. There have been many, many tax questions raised about this. I don't believe there is. It has been a matter of course over the last since I've been in the business 35 years, that we not go back on things like this. It is Pandora's box. If the legislature decides to change it, we welcome it. But we cannot interpret law, we just have to follow law.
Gerald?
Actually, his question was the same as mine, so thank you.
Pat?
Kyle, where do the numbers come from?
The valuations,
No, where does the square footage number come from?
the square footage numbers come from an exterior inspection of the property, and if at all possible, an interior inspection of the property. If we're not able to get on the inside, we will try back twice. If we can't get in then, we have to basically go on to the next properties.
You don't take it from any building permit or anything, just basically exterior measurements?
Exterior measurements, we like to stretch our own tapes. The building permits and any of the blueprints or anything like that are subject to change, as any contractor will tell you. Until they put the final nail in, there are change orders. So we stretch our own tapes. I'm assuming at this point that they couldn't get inside, couldn't tell what was basement, what wasn't, and they tried back twice to get in while it was under construction. That's all that happened. So the measurements that are up there right now, please remember, for the bathrooms and bedrooms and things like that, are interior measurements.
I'm just a little surprised, though. It seems like, a number of us sit on the Board of Equalization, as it was mentioned already, and we do everything possible to make things right when there's been a mistake, and now we're saying that there's really nothing we can do?
It's what you are deciding on is a mistake or a correction of value. When you start talking taxes, the taxes that are due and payable on this property come 16 months after that value is established. The taxes that are being paid by the citizens in Minnehaha County right now are based on a value of that property November 1st, 2006.
But are you somehow saying that the fact that he had some, 700 square feet less in his basement didn't affect his valuation?
Not to the degree that you may think. Again, we don't know, and that is why you are allowed then to come in and appeal the valuation. You're allowed to come in anytime and take a look at any of the properties. Our records are open. We'll show you anything we've got. We make mistakes, we're human.
Do the county commission, have they voted to deny this, then, or
They will act after
after us?
After
So
your
they haven't acted upon it yet?
No, sir.
Let's go Pat and then Kenny.
I just have a question, sir. What exactly would you like us to do?
I just like to
Would you step to the microphone, please?
I just want to be treated fairly. If the county made a mistake, I don't have to pay for it. They made a mistake. They did not know how to measure an area. And for him to tell me that he was not able to get in, that's not true, because I was there. The building contractor was there. They could have got in at any time. When I took the building permit to finish the basement, I purchased a building permit, and after we were done finishing the basement, the 2 rooms, somebody from the city came down and measured the basement. They should have recorded it or reported immediately the exact size.
How long ago was that?
The basement was finished in probably 1999.
Kenny.
Because the house was built in 1996. I don't have a crystal ball to know exactly what the county made a mistake in the area. I don't know whether they made a mistake or not, and I trusted the county that they have the right numbers. When they tell me I owe them the house is worth that much, and I owe them $5,000 worth of taxes, I paid it every year.
So, are you asking for, this refund for just these years, or are you saying for 12 years, or
I
what
mean,
do
to be fair, for the whole 12 years. From day one, they made the mistake, I didn't. Had
You know
I
what-
made that mistake, the county would have been
No, I
after me.
understand, but, on here, we've only got numbers for 3 years, 4 years.
I don't know why they put only 3 years. I wanted 12 years.
They can only go back, I think, 4 years, the county. So that's why it's that way on that, so,
That's what they can go back for an abatement.
yeah.
Could I see item, I believe, number 1 on there that the gentleman provided? Wasn't it the,
Exhibit 1?
I think it was 1 there. Is this figure? I think it was just the card. that you received from the county that was, yeah, is that the one you have in your hand now? Could you give that to him, please?
So this is for 3 years, and the fourth year, he'd have to come back in January for that one. So this will take you 5, 6, and 7, and then for 8, he comes back in January. So that's what we're doing here tonight.
Do you know what the number is for 12 years?
For 12 years, $4,179. That's what they paid. $4,179.
Kyle? You go back 4 years, is that right? You want to explain that?
The 4 years is a limitation established by the legislature if there was proper reason for granting the abatement, yes.
Well, that's a limitation of how far back you can go.
That is correct.
The legislature said on tax.
If it is a legal abatement and falls under the guidelines, yes.
And so there's no authority to go beyond 4 years.
That's correct.
Further questions?
What was the dollar amount again?
$4,179.46.
Mr. Mayor, I have an amendment or a motion to...
Did you go back 12 years, or 10
Yeah.
years?
I mean, if, you know...
I don't think you can you?
Well, if you can't, you can't, but we can send a statement that we think it's wrong.
But you can't go, you know... Go ahead.
How can you not follow what the state law requires? And would it be effective? I don't know. I'd have to look at that, but it doesn't seem like it could have any effect because you don't have authority to go beyond 4 years. And you could put in something to be with displeasure, but the issue is it enforceable?
Mr. Mayor, I'd like to make a motion that for the years 2005, 2006, and 2007, that Mr. Salim be given an abatement for the overpayment on taxes on that, and then he can go back himself for 2008, on the 2009 season.
Second.
Just a second. Did you get that?
Yeah, I've got it.
Okay, Tamara's got that. Let's make that, who seconded it?
Brown.
Vern seconded it? Okay, everybody understand the motion, what the motion is? Anyone that,
I understand the motion. May I ask a question?
Sure.
I understand the motion, and I'm actually pretty fine with the motion, but the only thing I was wondering is, but, like, I regret the error in measuring, but I don't understand how we are going to know what the tax should have been then.
You've got a copy of it in front of you, Dee.
Okay, so...
There's three amounts, that are on the consolidated tax, and what he's asking back for it. If we add those three amounts up, plus whatever this year's is going to be, I think that should be what we're allowed to do under state law.
Okay, and I didn't ask that question very well. It's what I mean is, but the error in measuring is, how do we know that error in measuring is exactly equal to this tax amount? That's what I'm trying to figure out.
Mr. Mayor,
yes.
I believe the numbers came from the county, did they not, Kyle, on the abatements? So those 3 years, plus he'll have to come back in 2009 for the taxes that he'd pay on 2008. So those numbers are coming from the county for the last 3 years. We don't know beyond that. We don't have the county's version of how much the tax would be, but we do know for those 3 years. Yes, and Mr. Salim, whatever happens here tonight, the county would have the ultimate say in
Right.
whether you would get that.
It's got to
or
go
not.
back to the county.
Yes, try to comply with state law, and also to try to have some sense of justice here. I have a substitute motion for the years 2005.
Say what?
I have a substitute
Yeah,
motion for the years 2005, 2006, 2007, that he be granted an abatement of $4,179. complying with state law for 3 years, and then also for the justice involved in this, we have the $4,179 spread over the 3 years, 2005, 6, and 7.
Second to that motion.
Second.
Motion.
Mr. Mayor, you know, I understand where Mr. Staggers is coming from, and part of me says yes, but I think that we are treading out onto some thin ice there, and I'd like to get him back something instead of, part of something instead of all or nothing, if it winds up that way, if this gets challenged somehow by the county or something. So I understand justice, but I also like to live in the real world, and I think that my motion may be the more practical of the two.
Go ahead.
I assume that if we were to pass Councilor Stagger's substitute motion that, and it ultimately got failed at the county, that he could come back again and we could try Councilor Litz's route.
Sir, I might add that this $4,179, this is without interest. If I want to be hard, I will ask for some interest money too. But this is just...
I wouldn't press that, Mr. Salim.
Mr. Mayor, before we pass this, Kyle, are you able to confirm that that is the dollar amount we're talking about over the 12 years? Do you have those figures?
Yes, those are the dollar amounts as calculated by our office. I trust Linda Lambeth up there with my life. She does all of these.
So the $4,179 is what he overpaid in taxes?
For the 3 years. Where the values are delineated out on the request for abatement. Those I trust.
But beyond that?
Beyond that, no, sir.
Because we're going back to the
3 years.
We're going beyond the 3 years.
No.
Okay.
Those are not our numbers.
Joe.
I guess I have some real concerns about opening up a Pandora's box about codified law and frankly playing games with numbers. I'd almost consider this to be maybe unprofessional in some ways, and certainly could be considered unethical by establishing a law and then going around it and not even paying any attention to it. I think that's like having a speeding ticket and then negotiating the fine and the speed. So I'm having some real concerns about telling our legislature that we don't maybe agree with what they're doing, but more importantly, we're going to redefine what they did based on their intentions many, many years ago. So I'm having a real hassle with that.
Okay, further comments? We've got a substitute motion to amend. Everybody understand that motion? All in favor of the motion to amend will vote yes. Those opposed will vote no.
Councilmember Jamison?
No.
Knutson?
No.
Litz?
No.
Litz?
No.
Staggers?
Yes.
Anderson?
No.
Benninga?
No.
Brown?
No.
Costello?
Yes.
That motion has failed, so we're back to the main motion that has been made by Litz, seconded by Brown to abate for the 3 years. Further comments? 3 years. Further comments? All in favor of that motion will vote.
Was 4 years, wasn't it?
It's 3 years, and he's got to come back in January.
Okay.
So it's 3 years now, and then he comes back in January. Okay, back to the main motion. All in favor of approving the main motion will vote yes. Those opposed vote no.
Okay, Councilmembers Jamison?
Yes.
Knutson?
No.
Litz?
Yes.
Staggers?
Yes.
Anderson?
Yes.
Benninga?
Yes.
Brown?
Yes.
Costello?
Yes.
That motion has carried 7 yes and 1 no, so that has been approved. Now it goes back to the county. Okay, let's move on to item number 6.
Thank you very much.
John.
Item number 6 is a new 2009 retail wine license for SMG Sioux Falls Arena to be operated at 1201 Northwest Avenue effective January 1st, 2009. Item 7 is new 2009 retail wine license for SMG Orpheum Theater Center to be operated at 315 North Phillips Avenue effective January 1st, 2009. Item 8 is a new 2009 retail wine license for CFJ Properties Country Market Restaurant to be operated at 5201 North Granite Lane effective January 1st, 2009. Item 9 is a new 2008-2009 South Dakota Farm Winery Package License for CFJ Properties Flying J Travel Plaza to be operated at 5201 North Granite Lane in conjunction with the applicant's existing package malt beverage license. Item 10 is a new 2008-2009 South Dakota Farm Winery package license for Freedom Value Centers Incorporated, Freedom Value Center Number 9, to be operated at 1601 South Minnesota Avenue in conjunction with the applicant's existing packaged malt beverage license. Item 11 is a new 2008-2009 South Dakota Farm Winery package license for Lewis Drug Incorporated, Lewis Eastgate, to be operated at 1301 East 10th Street in conjunction with the applicant's existing packaged malt beverage license. Item 12 is the new 2008-2009 South Dakota Farm Winery license for Lewis Drug Incorporated, Lewis Southwest, to be operated at 5500 West 41st Street in conjunction with the applicant's existing packaged malt beverage license. Item 13 is a transfer of a 2008 retail liquor license from Brinker Restaurant Corporation, Chili's Grill and Bar, 3720 West 41st Street, to ERJ Dining, the Fourth LLC, Chili's Grill and Bar, to be operated at 3720 West 41st Street, including Sunday sales. Item 14 is a transfer of a 2008-2009 retail malt beverage license from Bruin LLC Cafe 334 South Phillips Avenue to Chef Amy's Cafe 334 LLC, Chef Amy's Cafe 334, to be operated at 334 South Phillips Avenue with the conditional use permit being approved on September 3rd, 2008. Item 15 is a transfer of a 2008 retail wine license with Bruin LLC Cafe 334 South Phillips Avenue to Chef Amy's Cafe 334 LLC, Chef Amy's Cafe 334, to be operated at 334 South Phillips Avenue with the conditional use permit being approved on September 3rd, 2008. Item 16 is the transfer of a 2008 packaged liquor license from Friday's Hero Limited, Alex Liquors, 3406 South Marion Road, to Bakes Liquors Incorporated, Bakes Liquors, to be operated at 3406 South Marion Road. Item 17 is a transfer of a 2008-2009 retail malt beverage license from C.C. Peterson Realty Company Incorporated, Grand Casino, 4211 West 12th Street, to Stag Limited Grand Casino, to be operated 4211 West 12th Street, including video lottery terminals. Item 18 is a special one-day liquor license request for Washington Pavilion Management Incorporated, Washington Pavilion of Arts and Science, 301 South Main Avenue, for the following: November 14th, 2008 for a church gala, November 15th, 2008, December 27, 2008, and Friday 7, 2009 for wedding receptions. Item 19 is a special one-day malt beverage license for the Sertoma Club of Sioux Falls to be operated at the Sertoma Park Shelter, 49th Street and Oxbow Avenue on October 25th, 2008 for a fundraising event. If you'd like to vote on the items 1 through 19, we do have a council member that will be absent for item 20, and Ms. Hochstad's here for questions.
Thank you, Tamara. Lori Hogstead with the City Finance Office for items 6 through 20. Just a few items to point out. Items 6 through 8, as you noticed, are new retail wine licenses. We recently had some of the restrictions lifted on retail wine through some action in the legislature, as well as City Council approval of an ordinance. And the businesses no longer need to be a restaurant to have a retail wine license. And we had a few that took advantage of that request. Then also we have items, it's 9 through 12 are for the new South Dakota Farm Winery wine license, and that is also something new. Otherwise, I can answer questions on any of these items.
Questions of Lori on those? If the council prerogative, we could take 6 through 19 and then come back.
Mr. Mayor, I move approval of items 6 through 19.
And I
Okay.
second that motion, Knutson.
Okay, motion been made by Costello, seconded by Knutson to take items 9 through 16. Further comments on that motion?
6 through 19.
Go ahead.
Lori, typically, don't you include the officers for each of the corporations in our notes too?
No, not on, in the memo I do that's on your attachment with your agenda. In the memo, it lists all the officers, but no, normally I do not.
We didn't get it on our red notes this time.
My apologies. I think we changed out staff in between, so I think we might have dropped the ball on that, so my apologies.
I can sure answer if you have questions on any, who would be the corporate officers.
That's all right, thank you.
Further questions? Got a motion been made, second to approve items 6 through 19. See no further comments. All in favor of the motion to approve 6 through 19 will vote yes. Those opposed vote no.
Councilmembers Jamison?
Yes.
Knutson?
Yes.
Litz?
Yes.
Staggers?
Yes.
Anderson?
Yes.
Benega?
Yes.
Brown?
Yes.
Costello?
Yes.
Items 6 through 19 have been approved 8-0. We'll move to 20. It'll be noted that Councilmember Benninga will be excused from item number 20. Is there a motion?
Item 20 is a special day malt beverage and special one-day wine license for Senior Citizen Services Incorporated to be operated at the Center for Active Generations, 2300 West 46th Street, on April 19th, 2009, for the Gourmet Guys fundraiser.
I make a motion to
Knutson made
approve
a
item
motion. Is there
number
a second?
20.
Second,
Let's second it. Further comments on that motion? Not all in favor of to approve item 20 will vote yes, those opposed vote no.
Councilmembers Jamison?
Yes.
Knutson?
Yes.
Litz?
Yes.
Staggers?
Yes.
Anderson?
Yes.
Brown?
Yes.
Costello?
Yes.
All members present voted. Items 20 has been approved, 7 yes, 1 excused. Item 21.
Item 21 is a reconsideration and ordinance of the City of Sioux Falls, South Dakota, providing appropriations and the means of financing them for the fiscal year ending December 31st, 2009.
Go ahead.
Mr. Mayor, I ask for reconsideration for this to have the council officially vote on Section 3 of the ordinance.
Okay.
So I would make the motion to amend the ordinance providing the budget appropriations and the means of finance them for the fiscal year ending December 31st, 2009 by adding Section 3, the severability clause.
Okay, that's a motion. Is there a second?
Second, Benninga.
Benninga seconds. Further comments on that motion? See, go ahead.
Yes. Let me say, I am going to vote for this amendment to add Section 3 to the appropriations bill. However, the reason we're able to do this tonight is because of the outstanding work of the city clerk's office. They discovered that the administration had inserted Section 3 into the appropriations bill after the city council had already voted to approve the appropriations ordinance. Without this discovery by the city clerk's office, we would have had an invalid appropriations ordinance and chaos. Once again, thanks to the city clerk's office for their outstanding work.
Let me tell you something. I said they could take that out, Kermit, and they didn't have to have it in there. And we talked, and you were there, and we talked about putting it in there. I said you could do it without it. So, go ahead.
And I would just say that it is, if anyone causes, I did after the clerk's office had sent over asking some work to be done on the final proposal of the ordinance. And I did it in exercising discretion that I thought was appropriate. If it was in there, I couldn't say I'd be perfect in 44 years of being in the legal arena, but I thought it was the appropriate thing and in the best interest of the ordinance, and that was why it was added. It wasn't in any intent to pull anything over on anyone. And I would just say that I'm sorry for the uproar it caused, and if there's anyone to point your finger at, he's sitting right here, and I've had my fingers pointed at me a lot in my life, and it won't be the first time. So I just want that clear. The mayor did not direct me to do it. Thank you.
Mr. Mayor.
Go ahead.
I'd like to ask this council for some forgiveness for our novice city attorney over there.
And you know, the other thing, it doesn't change Section 1 and 2 at all. It didn't have any impact on Section 1 and 2. So, further comments? Not all in favor of the motion to approve item 21, vote yes. Those opposed, vote no.
Councilmembers Jamison?
Yes.
Knutson?
Yes.
Litz?
Yes.
Staggers?
Yes.
Anderson?
Yes.
Benninga?
Yes.
Brown?
Yes.
Costello?
Yes.
All members present voted. Item 20 has been approved 8-0. Item 22.
Item 22 is a second reading, an ordinance of the City of Sioux Falls, South Dakota, amending the revised ordinances of the city by amending Section 516 of Chapter 5, alcoholic beverages.
Lori Hogstead, City Finance Office. This change in the ordinance came about based on the fact that currently package off-sale licensees can sell beer only on Sundays. And we recently had some changes in the state legislature as well as adopted by our city council that wine licenses are now on and off-sale licenses. As a result, businesses that have the retail wine license, which there are a number of them, can sell wine to go on Sundays. And this request came before us just so that we could level the playing field so that the package stores could also sell wine on Sundays. I can answer questions. I know I have a number of my applicants are here tonight, and I'm sure they would love to have some input as well.
Questions of Lori on item number 22. Others that wish to address the council on item number 22?
My name is Heather Boyson. I live at 2201 South Pender Lane. I am co-owner and manager of Good Spirits Fine Wine and Liquor on 41st in Minnesota. It was brought to our attention as of July 1st, the new state law that went into effect that turned an on-premise wine and malt beverage license into an on-off-premise and allowed those people to and businesses to start selling wine if they so chose to on Sundays as a retail package, meaning you didn't have to consume it on the premise. You could walk home with that and consume it at home. Kind of slipped in under the radar when we were watching all the legislative activity and took all of us quite by surprise. I will say that Lori was very, very good in helping us disseminate the information to all of you, and also kudos to the City Council for being as proactive as they have been. Again, it is all about leveling the playing field. Most of us are locally owned. We're family-owned businesses. Some of us could not be here tonight because they're working their stores. We have small staffs. And any disadvantage that we have in the marketplace translates into lost revenue for all of us. I'm open on Sundays because I'm also a gas station. So I see the amount of sales that we have to turn down on a Sunday. There are not many people actually in the city of Sioux Falls that realize that they cannot buy wine or spirits on a Sunday. I would say about every third customer that we have in our store on a Sunday, our hours are 7 a.m. to 10 p.m., attempt to try and purchase wine or spirits on that particular day. It becomes an economic issue not only for store owners, but I would imagine the city as well. You collect a tax on the alcohol that we sell, 1.092%. The state also collects 5%. So when we lose those sales on Sunday, and especially now during hunting season, we have hunters that are coming in from all over the country. I have to turn down wine sales to large groups of hunters on Sundays when they come in, and not just wine, but also spirits. That's thousands of dollars in lost revenue, not only for myself, but for the city as well. I think it's very, very important that not only do we look at lifting the wine restrictions, but we also look at lifting the liquor restrictions. I think that blue laws in the system that we have and the fact that you can walk into any restaurant that has a liquor license in the city of Sioux Falls and purchase a cocktail or buy a glass of wine to consume on the premises, why can't you do the same at your local retailer? Why can't you walk in, purchase a bottle of wine, purchase a bottle of spirits, and take it home for consumption? This is, I think, leveling the playing field completely. Certainly, we would love to have the wine restriction lifted, but I think that goes hand in hand with having the liquor restriction lifted as well. So if you have any questions for me, I'd appreciate that. I know we have more that might want to speak.
Thank you.
But
Questions? Others that wish to address the council on item number 22? Not.
Tom Slattery, 3813 East Steeple Street here in Sioux Falls. I'm the general manager at JJ's Wine, Spirits, and Cigars at 4810 Southwestern. I just to say everything that Heather said, we want to level the playing field. You know, the state enacted the ability for large retail grocery establishments this year to own multiple licenses within our city and other large Class 1 municipalities, which kind of put us at a disadvantage given their ability to market and mass media advertising, that kind of stuff. With allowing some of those establishments to sell wine on Sundays, which right now I think there's one or two that are currently selling wine on Sundays under the new wine provisions, we are at a complete disadvantage because of that. So what we're looking for, obviously, is to level the playing field. And I, for one, wouldn't necessarily settle for, and speaking on behalf of my owner, wouldn't necessarily settle for just being able to sell wine, but I do think that lifting the restriction on liquor would also be appropriate for many reasons, but obviously the largest reason for us and for many of the other independent and locally owned businesses to level that playing field and give us the ability to compete with those larger organizations that have the ability to outdo us when it comes to advertising and marketing.
Questions? Thank you. Others that wish to address the council? Name and address. Seeing no one come forward, So council discussion or action?
I've got a question, and maybe Justice Amundson can answer this here, because I don't know the answer. Can Hy-Vee sell hard liquor on Sundays?
It's got to turn it on.
Maybe Lori would be.
Can Hy-Vee sell
Yes.
liquor on Sundays?
Yes.
No. Oh, they can only sell wine on Sundays. They're the
So-
same as any other packaged liquor licensee, whether it's part of a grocery store or whether it's just an independently owned business.
So then the argument for leveling the playing field really comes from a restaurant's ability to sell hard liquor.
I
on
believe
Sunday.
that's what they were talking about. It's the restaurants, the full retail liquor licensees that have Sunday sales, which is the majority. There's probably only about 5 that do not. And then, of course, those that can sell wine. And there's a number of those restaurants.
Further, would you, Heather, will you come up to the microphone, please? Thank you.
Hy-Vee is also eligible for the new on-premise license, and there have been conditional uses brought forward. So you have several of their locations that are going to be able to start selling on Sunday.
Selling what exactly? Heather?
Selling wine.
Wine and beer, too. Would
Yes.
that be correct?
Wine and beer. Again, going to a restaurant that has a full liquor license, you can buy a cocktail on Sunday. So you can drive somewhere, drink a cocktail, and then drive home. Our point is, why not go to a retailer, buy a bottle of spirits there, take it home, and consume that beverage at home, thereby leveling the playing field. We're in competition with restaurants as well as other retail package license holders.
Great.
Lori, are there other communities in South Dakota that allow spirits to be sold on Sunday?
You know, I am not sure of that. I have my hands full keeping track of Sioux Falls. However, the state law does allow us to, each municipality to set their regulations as far as what we can sell on Sundays. So it's quite possible that others do allow sales other than just beer.
Okay, Heather, you come again.
Rapid City, Huron, and Fort Pierre all have Sunday non-restrictions on sales.
Thanks, Heather.
Mr. Mayor, I move approval of, well, we don't have it.
We have to have a motion and
We
a
have a
second
motion.
to adopt
So
the
moved.
ordinance.
So is there a second?
Second, Anderson.
Okay, motion been made and seconded to approve it. Further,
Excuse me.
Th-
what
this
exactly
is-
did we?
this would be
The
just
main
one.
motion, okay.
Main motion, this is just the wine. Is there other comments?
I have an amendment. I make a motion to amend this ordinance by amending Section 5-13, Sunday hours of sale of malt beverages for off-sale dealers to read as follows. Any licensed off-sale dealer of alcoholic beverages may sell or allow to be sold alcoholic beverages on Sunday between the hours of 7 a.m. and 12 a.m.
I'll second that motion. Knutson.
And just a quick note, it's 5-16. Thank you.
Okay, that motion to amend by Costello, seconded by Knutson now. Further comments on that motion to amend?
A question. Is Councilor Costello or Lori or both, again, I'm for totally leveling the playing field, and I do think some of the laws that are on the books as far as alcohol consumption are concerned in South Dakota are very antiquated, old-fashioned, or whatever else you want to call them. But okay, with this motion, though, do we penalize anyone for paying licensing fees? Am I confused at all on that?
No, there would be no change in the fees. The fee per year for a packaged liquor establishment is $500 as the base fee, and that would not change. There would be no additional fees that would be paid, no additional applications. They would just be able to operate as usual, just adding the other 2 types of alcohol.
And I should remember this, but I'm confused a little bit right now,
Sure.
is, okay, thank you for that clarification. So like, but a business that has spent quite a bit more money than $500 for an alcohol license, would we be penalizing them by allowing a convenience store to sell hard liquor to without paying that fee?
Oh, okay. You're comparing it to a retail liquor license, correct? Which
Yeah,
would be
should I not be?
considerably more.
Yeah,
I
should
don't
I-
really think they're the same thing. I mean, a retail liquor license, you're going into a restaurant and, you know, you're ordering a drink with your food. A package store, you can only buy it to go.
Okay, and I follow you on that. I was just trying to just take it all the way to
Sure.
just see if there was any illogic to my seconding.
Boy, I don't know if I could answer that.
And there, just as a note, I mean, there's nothing in here that would require an establishment to open up at all on Sunday if they did not want to.
Yep, that's correct. They would be allowed to be open 7 a.m. to midnight, as they are Monday through Saturday, but they don't necessarily have to stay open that late. Or they wouldn't even have to open on Sundays if they chose not to.
Okay, you guys, I'm sorry that I'm a little confused on this. I realize that they wouldn't have to sell it on Sunday. I understand that part. The part that I'm confused about, and probably shouldn't be, is that the fairly significant amount of money that a business pays once they get in, accepted for an alcohol license, and I was thinking they would be
Lori,
paying way more than retail.
Go ahead, Pat.
restaurants will not be able to sell bottled alcohol. This
No.
is only wine.
You are correct. Restaurants, if they have a full liquor license, they cannot sell any alcohol to go. The only restaurants that can sell alcohol to go are those that have just a beer and wine license. And they can sell beer and or wine to go if they choose. And again, they don't all choose to do that. So a restaurant with a full liquor license cannot sell any alcohol to go.
Councilor Costello, will you help me on this for a second? I understand that also, that I know you don't take it to go. I just meant, I think I'm just confused on something I should be. I mean, if those businesses that have been waiting in line for years to get alcohol licenses, and that's the comparison I'm trying to make, is that those people are spending lots and lots of money to have that license to sell drinks of alcohol. Why am I confused?
Well, those are on-premise locations. This really is off-premise. And if there's a concern about the fee amount, we can deal with that at another time. This is only allowing the ability to sell the alcohol.
But you got two issues here. You got on sale and off sale.
Right.
And you're talking here, we're talking about off sale. We're not talking about on sale. On sale is when you go to the restaurant with it has it, and off sales you take it out. They don't have the restaurant or the bar.
I think it would be important to note that while Heather offers a range of products, gas, chips, pop, and others, other retailers only have spirits or beer and wine and spirits. And so if they're going to be open on Sundays, why can't they sell their full range of products? Why should we only limit them to just beer
Yes,
or wine?
I'm really supportive of seconding the motion. I'll just drop. Yeah, I'll just move on.
I think I pick up on what Dee is talking about. She's talking about diluting the value of somebody who has a general liquor license. Now this guy who's just come off the field of hunting wants to have a drink, knows he can't buy a bottle anywhere, so he goes to a restaurant to have a drink.
Mhm.
Now those restaurants who have a liquor license are now going to be competing with the stores that are offering a bottle for sale. I think that's what Dee, you're okay. That's what
Thank
she's
you
doing
for
too.
helping me.
That is exactly what she's asking, and I guess, that's exactly what happens Monday through Saturday anyway. It's just the one day that there might be a difference. So I understand your question, and I know reference was made to, you can go into a restaurant and get a drink, and now, why can't they buy it to go? I mean, it's a good question, but right now, Monday through Saturday, that is the way that it is.
Other comments? We got a motion to amend.
I'm sitting here kind of getting educated on this. I mean, I really didn't know a lot of these things earlier, and I would just say this, that these laws about this was a concession to prohibition according to the work that Justice Amundsen provided for us earlier, and I did read it, and it was very interesting in that wine and beer also had some nutritive value, and this is why they were consumed with meals, and that was my rationale for doing that. But, when the prohibition came and went, the last concession they gave to the prohibitionists was the blue laws on Sunday. And I'd like to also remind this council that one of the days that they kept sanct in this year was Election Day. Now, I'm not sure if that's been for good or worse here on the way out, but, I think I'm probably changing my mind a little bit about what's being said here today. So I I have trouble with this one, but I think in the interest of fairness, there's probably been a pretty good argument for leveling the playing field.
Okay, we got a substitute motion to amend item number 22. Further discussions and a substitute motion to amend. Seeing none, all in favor of the motion to amend will vote yes. Those opposed, vote no.
Councilmembers Jamison,
Yes.
Knutson,
Yes.
Litz,
Yes.
Staggers,
Yes.
Anderson,
Yes.
Benega,
Yes.
Brown,
Yes.
Costello.
Yes.
All members present have voted. Item 22 has been approved as amended, 8 yeses, 0 noes. So let's go to,
We have to,
no,
we have to-
that took care
we
of.
voted on the amendment,
Yeah,
but now we have to vote on the main motion as amended.
Is that all we have? Okay, back to the main motion as amended.
Councilmembers Jamison,
Yes.
sorry, Mayor, Knutson,
Yes.
Litz.
Yes.
Staggers.
Yes.
Anderson.
Yes.
Benega.
Yes.
Brown.
Yes.
Costello.
Yes.
All members present have voted. Item 22 has been approved 8-0 as amended. Item 23.
Item 23 is a second reading and ordinance of the City of Sioux Falls, South Dakota, amending the revised ordinances of the city by revising Chapter 14 of the Campaign Finance Ordinance for municipal elections.
Good evening, Sioux Falls City Council, Deborah Owens, City Clerk. Before you as a ordinance that has been considered by both Public Services Committee and with an informational. There's been some minor changes, housekeeping changes to keep our local ordinances mirroring state law. In addition, there were some changes proposed that will require all political action committees to contribute, or who contribute to city elections, file their statement of organization with the Secretary of State. Number 3 would be to require all PACs that contribute to city elections submit one financial disclosure statement 1 week prior to city elections, and reduce the number of candidate financial disclosure reports by dropping the January and March report. An additional thing that we had put into the ordinance is that we allow for reports to be filed 3 business days after the reporting period ends. What this will do, I think, still help the council, which is very important, maintain that level of transparency so that the citizens can know who is looking to influence elections and who's looking to influence those who are running for office. But it will also allow for those political action committees who now file duplicately with both the Secretary of State and locally to file really only one report locally, and then we will utilize those reports that are filed with the Secretary of State's office. So it just kind of eliminates a lot of that paperwork for the political action committees, and then also it will save our staff time as well as we move forward with the 2010 election. Any questions?
Questions of Deborah on item number 23.
I had a question, just a comment. I want to thank Deborah for her work on this, and she spent a lot of time on this, as did the Public Services Committee, and I do think that this streamlines the process but keeps it open and transparent and easier to understand and follow. So thank you, Deborah.
Further comments?
I would just like to echo Councilor Brown's comments, as I do appreciate the extra effort that the city clerk has made on this issue, and I would like to make a motion to approve item number 23.
Motion to approve. Is there a second?
Second, Anderson.
Anderson seconds. Are there any others who wish to address council on item number 23? Seeing none, we got a motion made and seconded to approve item 23. All in favor of that motion will vote yes. Those opposed, no.
Councilmember Jamison,
Yes.
Knutson,
Yes.
Litz,
Yes.
Staggers.
Yes.
Anderson.
Yes.
Benega.
Yes.
Brown.
Yes.
Costello.
Yes.
All members present vote. Item 23 has been approved 8-0. Item 24.
Item 24 is a second reading and ordinance of the City of Sioux Falls, South Dakota, amending the revised ordinances of the City of Sioux Falls, South Dakota by revising boundaries for voting precincts.
Sioux Falls City Council, Deborah Owens, City Clerk. This is one that we had talked about in an informational. This is the precinct. If you look at your map overhead, it's precinct number 3, but it's a northwest precinct. It runs from Interstate 90 all the way down to 12th Street. As you know, that end of town is just really growing exponentially. And the citizens who live there, about over 6,000, 6,305. And so we want to split that precinct, allowing those voters to vote at 2 different locations within that locale. Questions?
Questions of Deborah on item 24.
So Deborah, then all we're going to be doing is I'm in the Northwest District, obviously, and we're just adding a precinct. Is that correct?
Correct. You know, as the city grows, we tend to we want to keep the precincts a certain size, especially now with the districting commission as they move forward, they'll bring their report to you sometime early next year. But we want to try to keep those precincts within a relative amount of people, 1,000 to 2,000. This is at 6,000, so we're past due. We need to kind of get that divided up.
Very good. Then, but this is not, when will we actually look at changing the district lines between, the various districts? Will that be in 2010?
No, that actually will be in 09. There's a process through the charter. The commission that you appointed is now meeting. They'll meet next Tuesday. You're welcome to attend that. And they'll begin looking at, with the planning department, with your staff, and beginning to look at how do we keep those all balanced and equal for those 5 districts. I think the district that obviously has to have the most change will be the central district, as the south end of town has really grown. The northwest will actually enlarge the boundary. It won't get smaller. Central will enlarge, and then the south end will actually get smaller because they're a little out of balance right now.
Okay, thank you, Deborah.
Kenny?
Deborah, what are the 2 buildings selected to have the people in that area vote at?
That's a good question. Normally I know that. I know that the one of the University Center, thank you, Mayor. That will be one of the new polling places that will be available. I think the other one, I want to say it's Harvey Dunn, but I'm not sure I have that correct. So.
Further questions? Others who wish to address the council on item number 24. Is there a motion by the council?
Move to approve, Brown.
Brown moves. Is there a second?
Second, Anderson.
Anderson seconds. Further comments on the motion that's been made and seconded? Seeing none, all in favor of the motion to approve, vote yes. Those opposed, vote no.
Councilmembers Jamison?
Yes.
Knutson?
Yes.
Litz?
Yes.
Staggers?
Yes.
Anderson?
Yes.
Benega?
Yes.
Brown?
Yes.
Costello?
Yes.
All members present have voted. Item 24 has been approved 8-0. Item 25.
Item 25 is a first reading, an ordinance of the City of Sioux Falls, South Dakota, rezoning property at West 57th Street and South Sertoma Avenue and amending the official zoning map of the City of Sioux Falls. The Planning Commission recommends approval.
Mike Cooper, Planning and Building Services. We have a number of items tonight that were considered by the City Planning Commission at their October meeting. Item 25 is a request to change approximately 150 acres of land known as Sertoma Hills from a planned development to a conventional residential zoning districts. And this is in the area of West 57th and Sertoma Avenue.
Questions of Mike on item 25?
Mike, this is just common practice where a development gets completely built out and we're just getting rid of the planned development.
Yes, thank you for reminding me that. I should explain the first 3 items that I have, 25, 26, and 27, do follow that policy that we have of once a planned development area is totally built out, we would come back and change it to the more conventional zoning districts.
Further questions? Let's go 26.
26 is a first reading, an ordinance of the City of Sioux Falls, South Dakota, rezoning property at West 41st Street and South Gateway Boulevard and amending the official zoning map of the City of Sioux Falls. The Planning Commission recommends approval.
This is about 1.4 acres of land area, which includes the existing Gateway Boulevard apartments.
Questions of Mike on 26. Let's go 27.
27 is a first reading, an ordinance of the City of Sioux Falls, South Dakota, rezoning property at West 69th Street to West 85th Street, east and west of South Hughes Avenue, and amending the official zoning map of the City of Sioux Falls. The Planning Commission recommends approval.
This is about 250 acres of land known as the Platinum Valley Edition, which includes existing residential, office, and open space areas.
Questions of Mike on 27. 28.
28 is the first reading, an ordinance of the City of Sioux Falls, South Dakota, rezoning property at Southwestern Avenue and West Bitterroot Street and amending the official zoning map of the City of Sioux Falls. The Planning Commission recommends approval.
This is about a 6-acre parcel of land. It's on the west side of Western Avenue and Bitterroot Street, which is south of 69th Street. The applicants are Clayton Jameson and Site 2 Incorporated, and the proposed use of this land will be for single-family residential.
We noted that Councilmember Jameson was excused from 28. Let's go questions of 20. Let's go 29.
Item 29 is a first reading, an ordinance of the City of Sioux Falls, South Dakota, rezoning property at 3900 South Terry Avenue and amending the official zoning map of the City of Sioux Falls. The Planning Commission recommends approval.
This is about a 23-acre parcel of land which includes the existing campus of Sunnycrest Village on the west side of Interstate 29. And the proposed zoning is to allow for future expansion of this campus, which includes nursing home and apartments.
Questions, Mike, on item 29? Let's go 30.
Item 30 is a first reading and ordinance of the City of Sioux Falls, South Dakota, rezoning property at 4709 South Louise Avenue and amending the official zoning map of the City of Sioux Falls. The Planning Commission recommends approval.
This is a vacant tract of land that's currently owned by the City of Sioux Falls, and the proposed purpose of the rezoning is to allow for the city to declare this lot surplus and sell it at an auction. It's on South Louise and West 55th Street. And based on the information that I was given, there will be an ordinance presented to the City Council in November for first and second reading to declare this lot surplus, with an auction scheduled in December. And there's an appraisal that's in the process of being completed this month for the lot.
Questions of Mike on 30? Vernon?
When we sell surplus property like this, where do the funds go, Mike?
I think they would go back to the fund that was used to acquire the property.
So in CIP and acquisition?
Right.
Okay, thank you.
Questions on 30? Let's go 31.
Item 31 is an ordinance is a first reading, an ordinance of the City of Sioux Falls, South Dakota, rezoning property at East 41st Street and South Dakota Highway 11.
This is about an 8.5-acre tract of land that's proposed for future commercial development, and the applicants are Chuck Moss and Rick Brake.
Questions of Mike on 31? Let's go 32.
Item 32 is a first reading and ordinance of the City of Sioux Falls, South Dakota, a major amendment, petition number 2008-0924 to Chapter 15.45.070, Plan Development Districts at West 77th Street and South Minnesota Avenue, amending the Garden Village Plan Development District sub-area regulations. The Planning Commission recommends approval.
The Garden Village development is located just north of Landscape Garden Center, South Minnesota Avenue. At the time that the developers brought that in for approval, they had requested that the setbacks for residential be 10 feet instead of the typical 5 foot. And over time, they have realized that the market out there, they would like to go back to the more conventional side yard setbacks. We have approved amendments for some existing residential in that area to allow the 5 foot, but this amendment would just provide a blanket change to their plan development guidelines so that all residential uses could go down to the typical 5 foot side yard requirement. So this is a request that is coming from the developer of this property.
Questions of Mike on item number 36, 32, right? Is it all right with the council if we do this, if we take items, we go through items 25 through 32 and exclude item number 28, and we'll vote on that separately?
That would be my motion, Mayor.
Okay, that's the motion to take 25 through 32 and exclude 28. Is there a second?
Second, Benninga.
Benninga seconds. So we will take those and set the hearing date for November 3rd for items 25 through 32, excluding 28. All in favor of that motion? Vote yes. Those opposed, no.
Councilmember Jamison?
Yes.
Knutson?
Yes.
Litz?
Yes.
Staggers?
Yes.
Anderson?
Yes.
Benega?
Yes.
Brown?
Yes.
Costello?
Yes.
All members present voted. Those items have been approved for November 3rd. Now, we would be noted that Councilmember Jamison will be excused from item number 28.
I would soon like to make a motion. I would like to make a motion to approve item number
28.
28.
Okay, motion.
Knutson.
Knutson made a second.
Second, Litz.
Litz seconded. Motion is to approve item 28 and set the hearing date for November 3rd for that item. All in favor of that motion will vote yes. Those opposed vote no.
Councilmembers Knutson?
Yes.
Litz?
Yes.
Staggers?
Yes.
Anderson?
Yes.
Benega?
Yes.
Brown?
Yes.
Costello?
Yes.
All members present voted. Item 28 has been scheduled for November 3rd, 7 yes and 1 excused. Let's go to 33.
Item 33 is a resolution authorizing the City of Sioux Falls to gift to the Sioux Empire Fair various surplus property.
Gene Roanhorst, Director of Finance. This resolution would gift to the Sioux Empire Fair the listed items. These items were originally scheduled on our surplus auction that we had a couple of weeks ago. and we recommend that these items be gifted to the fair.
Questions of Gene on item 33?
Yeah, Gene, on the two pickups, how much is that involved?
They are a 1996 Dodge 1500. The estimated value is around $2,000. And a GMC 1997 pickup, that the estimated value is about $1,200.
Okay, thank you.
Further questions? Others that wish to address the council on item number 33? Is there a motion to approve?
Move to approve, Brown.
Brown moves. Is there a second?
Second, Jameson.
Jameson seconds. Further comments on the motion to approve item 33? Seeing none, all in favor of that motion to approve, a vote yes, those opposed, vote no.
Councilmembers Jameson?
Yes.
Knutson?
Yes.
Litz?
Yes.
Staggers?
Yes.
Anderson?
Yes.
Benega?
Yes.
Brown? Costello?
Yes.
All members present have voted. Item 33 has been approved 8-0. Item 34, it will be noted on this one that Councilmember Jameson will be excused.
Item 34 is a resolution of the City of Sioux Falls approving the preliminary plan of Falcon Heights Edition, petition number 2008-0914. The Planning Commission recommends approval.
This is about a 94-acre parcel of land that's located on the southeast corner of East 57th Street and South Dakota Highway 11. The applicants are Clayton Jameson and Site 2 Incorporated, and this includes lots that are proposed for future residential and commercial development, and that will have both public and private streets serving this area. We are asking this to be approved tonight, and we would like to have the description amended to reflect that it's the southeast corner rather than the southwest corner of 57th and Highway 11.
Questions of Mike on item 34? Others that wish to address the council on item number 34? Not, is there a motion to approve?
I so move Knutson.
Knutson moved. Second?
Second, Benninga.
Benega second.
Mr. Mayor?
Yes.
Would make a motion to amend the language to read the southeast corner.
Okay, the motion is to amend southwest to southeast. Is there a second to that motion?
Second, let's.
Litz Costello made, Litz seconded. All in favor of that motion to amend will vote yes. Those opposed, vote no.
Councilmembers Knutson?
Yes.
Litz?
Yes.
Staggers?
Yes.
Anderson?
Yes.
Benega?
Yes.
Brown?
Yes.
Costello?
Yes.
All members present voted. That amendment has been approved 7 yes, 1 excuse. We're back to the main motion made by Knutson, second by Benega to approve as amended. All in favor? Yes. Those opposed, no.
Councilmembers Knutson?
Yes.
Litz?
Yes.
Staggers?
Yes.
Anderson?
Yes.
Benega?
Yes.
Brown?
Yes.
Costello?
Yes.
All members present voted. Item 34 has been approved 7 yes, 1 excused, as amended. Item 35.
Item 35 is a resolution of the City of Sioux Falls approving the preliminary plan of Prairie Gardens Edition Phase 4, petition number 2008-0927. The Planning Commission recommends approval.
This is a 115-acre site located on East 41st Street and South Sycamore Avenue. The applicant is Gary Haar, Prairie View Development Incorporated. The proposed use of the property is for about 268 residential lots.
Questions of Mike on item number 35? Others that wish to address the council on item number 35? Is there a motion to approve?
Move to approve Anderson.
Anderson moved, Litz seconded. Further comments?
I need a second. No one's
Litz seconded. Got a motion made and seconded. Anderson made the motion, Litz seconded. All in favor of that motion, vote yes. Those opposed, vote no.
Councilmember Jameson?
Yes.
Knutson?
Yes.
Litz?
Yes.
Staggers?
Yes.
Anderson?
Yes.
Benega?
Yes.
Brown?
Yes.
Costello?
Yes.
All members present have voted. Item 35 has been approved 8-0. Item 36, and this would be noted that Councilmember Jameson will be excused on item 36.
Item 36 is a resolution of the City of Sioux Falls approving the preliminary plan of Bend Edition, petition number 2008-0913. Planning Commission recommends approval.
This is a 20-acre tract of land that is in the southwest corner of East 57th Street and South Dakota Highway 11. The applicants are Clayton Jameson and Site 2 Incorporated. This has been approved for future commercial development, and this subdivision plan shows 7 lots that will be developed for that use, along with future right-of-way for the South Dakota Highway 100.
Questions of Mike on item 36? Others that wish to address the council on item number 36? Is there a motion to approve?
I so move Knutson.
Knutson moves. Is there a second?
Second, let's.
Let's second it. Further comments on that motion? Seeing none, all in favor of the motion to approve item 36, vote yes. Those opposed, vote no.
Councilmember Knutson?
Yes.
Litz?
Yes.
Staggers?
Yes.
Anderson?
Yes.
Benega?
Yes.
Brown?
Yes.
Costello?
Yes.
All members present have voted. Item 36 has been approved, 7 yes, 1 excused. Item 37.
Item 37 is a resolution of the City of Sioux Falls approving the preliminary plan of Tower Park Addition Petition Number 2008-0809. The Planning Commission recommends approval.
This development plan is generally in the northeast corner of East 6th Street and Cleveland Avenue. More specifically, it's located adjacent to East 5th Street and Sherwood Avenue. It includes about 3 acres of land, and it's going to involve the actual replatting of some old development boundary lines, and this will result in 12 residential lots, one of which is currently occupied by a structure. And the applicant is Rod Fluth.
Questions of Mike on item 37? Others that wish to address the council on item number 37? Is there a motion to approve?
So move, Benega.
Bennigan moves. Is there a second?
Second, Jameson.
Jameson seconded. Further comments on the motion to approve? Seeing none, all in favor of the motion to approve, vote yes. Those opposed, vote no.
Councilmembers Jameson?
Yes.
Knutson?
Yes.
Litz?
Yes.
Staggers?
Yes.
Anderson?
Yes.
Benega?
Yes.
Brown?
Yes.
Costello?
Yes.
All members present have voted. Item 37 been approved 8-0. Is there a motion to adjourn?
I so move, Knutson.
Knutson moves, second.
Second, Jameson.
Jameson second. All in favor of adjournment will vote yes. Those opposed, vote no.
Councilmembers Jameson?
Yes.
Knutson?